He gets too close to Irvine with the worst possible result. Irvine emerged unscathed and helped the marshals in the desperate scramble to get medical aid to the Brazilian. Sensibly, the race is stopped while Bertie is transferred to a local hospital.
Somebody's been very wide. There's a lot of dust and dirt kicked up somewhere. Montoya got this last chicane. That's a massive accident.
Wow, it's Alan McNish. A huge accident. It's gone over the fence.
Yes, McNish, that's what all the dust was in the background, was Alan McNish through the barrier.
But you saw McNish being escorted away by the marshals. He's sitting down on the top of the bank, so he walked up the bank. That's good news to see Alan McNish out of that car, because frankly, that reminds me of an accident he had at Donington in Formula 3000, which was utterly, utterly terrible. Through the barriers he went, and a marshal was killed that day. This will bring back some bad memories for Alan McNish.
Des Tages so ist und je länger der Rennbetrieb fortschreitet. Unfall Furman! Unfall Furman, das schien heftig gewesen zu sein. Das Auto ist ziemlich zerstört. Gibt das einen Abbruch? Kann der aussteigen? Nicht wirklich.
Ja, der fühlt sich nicht wohl.
Hier muss jetzt ein Arzt her und Abbruch. Das ist eine ernste Situation. Raus mit der Flagge. Hier, Red Flag. Jetzt kommt auch die Bestätigung.
Ja, der Helfer sagt ihm, er soll warten. Ist das Cockpit eingedrückt, da seitlich? Sieht das nur so aus?
Vorne
oder?
die Nase sieht gebrochen aus.
Ja, und seitlich das Cockpit bin ich mir nicht ganz sicher.
Hier kommt Professor Sid Watkins im Medical Car. Ist es da noch?
Die rechte Seite scheint mir das Cockpit nicht ganz in Ordnung zu sein.
Hier kommt's, Achtung, Heckflügel.
Der Heckflügel fällt weg. Ach du lieber Gott.
Merkt er das überhaupt?
Und wenn es nicht mehr...
Ferrari put the squeeze on Raikkonen with 20 laps to go in the British Grand Prix. The first three cars are separated by less than 2 seconds on the racetrack, and Ferrari really are putting... Oh, it's a big crash for Jarno Trulli. He's hit that tyre wall really hard. Looks like he's okay, but that was a huge crash.
I think he's dropped it on the exit of Bridge Corner by the looks of it, and yeah, and safety car standing by.
We are behind a safety car due to an enormous accident for Jarno Trulli. He's okay and has jumped out of the car, but you can see the track workers clearing it away. And here's a look at what happened.
He dropped it on the exit of Bridge. He was well through the corner, so and then rolls over the rollover bar, digs into the gravel trap. He was walking away after this incident. We know he's okay. This is a replay. Jarno Trulli then with a sizable accident on the exit of the terrifying Bridge Corner, but the cars are so good now. They've been taking that full throttle quite comfortably. I asked Mark Webber yesterday when he was doing our lap guide.
There's a massive crash further back. Karthikeyan lost control of the car at turn 13, took a huge impact and brings the safety car out for a second time.
But shortly after that, Montoya's going to tag the back of his teammate right now, put him into a spin. He collects Heidfeld. Heidfeld goes rolling. Button spins around, and Scott Speed gets caught up in the aftermath, actually tagging both McLarens. This is Alonso at the front trying to pass Michael Schumacher, as in the background Heidfeld goes spinning. Scott Speed for Toro Rosso. McLarens, that's an expensive accident. And this is on board Raikkonen, and you're going to feel a shove at the back end any minute now, and round he goes. And that's when he gets into Button. We don't know if Montoya was given any assistance from behind, but I don't think he was.
Hamilton had just pitted. Next up would be Kovalainen. But the McLaren didn't make it. Heikki's plight began much earlier on. A problem with the left front wheel rim meant that the wheel was sitting more loosely on the axle than it should have been, so the two were moving apart under high cornering loads. During Heikki's first stint, the wheel rim began rubbing heavily against the brake drum. Eventually this caused enough wear to cause the catastrophic failure of the inner lip of the rim as Heikki went through turn 9. Barrichello had been on a last-ditch attempt to make it into Q3 when a spring came off his car.
Oh, something is broken on my car.
Hey, firm.
Stay on the back.
You're all clear behind. You're all clear behind. Just have to bring it in. But it looks like something on the rear heave has collapsed. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It looks like the rear roll bar, I think.
Massa had already made it into Q3 and was just a few seconds behind the Brawn. He went hurtling into the path of the errant spring and into the tyre wall. The spring hit his helmet just above his left eye, and the car just went straight on. The graphic shows what was going on with the car and G-forces during the incident.
Alonso, and look at that, Hamilton and Vettel touching, and a Massa fancies to look up the inside of Hamilton too, and Alonso leads the Italian Grand Prix. We've got a car approaching sideways, he takes 2 out with him, so at least 3 cars out as we saw somebody arriving sideways down the grass into the first corner. Liuzzi, Rosberg, Petrov. Look at the back then, there's an HRT already with its wheels on the grass. And then no grip there. You've got to stay on the black bits. The green bits will not help you. And he was going straight to the scene of several other people's accidents right there. Totally caused all of that.
He gets a tank slapper on before the braking zone, gets a wheel on the grass, loses control, and then he just comes across the chicane and takes out those other cars.
Complete carnage in the middle of the pack. And a confetti of carbon fibre still raining down a few seconds after the silliness that was turn 1.
Mercedes ran almost all of their pre-season testing on the medium tyre. Oh, and there's a Haas off.
And that
one of the Haas guys off into the gravel. It's Esteban Gutierrez.
What a shame. He was talking about problems with his engine earlier. Oh, there's another car involved in that. It's for Fernando Alonso. That has been a massive accident.
Oh, Alonso's out of the car. Safety car out.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Good grief.
Oh my goodness.
That's a bit of judgment.
On board with Alonso. This is in the same turn where Martin Brundle had a very frightening accident in similar fashion.
Very similar to Martin Brundle's accident. I was just thinking exactly the same thing, but boy, he was lucky there.
And the race has been red flagged. Not only the safety car deployed, red flag.
Session suspended, and Paul, there was absolutely nothing he could do. The car just went on under braking, just stepped out from underneath him.
When you have spectacular ones like that, the energy's dissipated over a long distance with all the bits and pieces flying off as well. It's not the sudden stop. They're the ones that really hurt. So whilst it looks spectacular, as long as nothing comes into the cockpit to get you.
The mechanics are looking at the DRS on Leclerc's car. I think we could be looking at a DRS failure. The rear wing flap has not reattached, has not gone down as it should do as soon as Ericsson touched the brake.
You okay? No idea what happened there. Okay, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay.
Stays second fastest, and there is the Mercedes! Well, the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas through the Peraltada has gone into the barrier. That is qualifying over because no one's going to improve their lap time now because the yellow flags are being waved. Valtteri Bottas has hit the barriers and Max Verstappen will take pole position 12 months here in Mexico after he was denied by his teammate at the time. Did he catch the curb there? He did, didn't he?
And then that piece of barrier sticks out, doesn't it? The polystyrene bit that eventually hits sticks out.
And that will be why, Martin, he's breathing very heavily there, because that's a very sudden stop.
Yeah. It's not over yet, because Hamilton gets another slipstream all the way down the old pit straight into Copse Corner. These are critical corners for this Grand Prix.
Hamilton's going to try again, this time on the inside, a continent touch! Verstappen is out of the race, and that's a big crash into Copse! Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen coming together. Hamilton continues on. Charles Leclerc now leads the British Grand Prix, but for the second time this season, Hamilton and Verstappen clash and tangle on the opening lap, but this time it is ending in dramatic consequences for the championship leader. As well, the tyres come loose from the rim.
I said it wasn't over yet, didn't I, as they came out of Luffield.
Was there a bit more room to the right that Hamilton should have been finding?
Yes, red flag.
They need to repair that tyre barrier.